In this flow, if we go back to the bot, we're just asking users to provide their state, and we are going to give them information, stats, for every county in their state. Okay? Most people, I would expect, would go for a county in which they live or a county in which a loved one lives, but it may be the case they don't know the county in which their loved one lives, so they may just go pull the state and then later go back and pull the county. I don't know, we've just made both available, right? So if you click the state option, it's going to take you down this flow. Basically, it's going to say that no county exists because they're not asking for a county, and we actually go through some steps to actually clear the county just to make sure that's not coming in. And we go then and check to see if the state spelling they provided actually is the proper spelling. We use the same function we used in the county flow. Here, this is a Google Sheet. Again, we're providing a view-only copy for you to make a copy of, and you can have it and use it in your Integromat scenario. But this has a list of every state in the United States, and it will check against that to determine whether or not the state you provided was spelled correctly. If the number of bundles or the number of results is 0 or doesn't exist, again, insurance, we're going to send you a flow that says something similar to, hey, this does not exist. Could you try again with a different spelling? And we'll send them back. Now, if that works and we do have a state and we're just, the number of bundles is equal to 1 because we're just letting them send one state in, it's going to go into the app. And the app is going to send in the state. And it is going to use a custom field start case state. I'll actually have to update this in the previous branch, but you'll have that. That'll be reflected in the scenario you download. But in case somebody gives me all caps and the database is looking for a title case in the capital T, everything else, what we do is we use start case. It's a little small function inside of Integromat. I guess it'll pop up like this. And we can zoom in and see that it'll just change hello world into hello world with a capital at the beginning of each word in the sentence or any of the string that comes through. So we're actually going to map it and have it look for the state, and we're going to make sure, as we talked about, that the county name is not unassigned, and we're looking at it case insensitive because I don't know how the data is going to change at any point in time. And then comes this spaghetti link, or as my friend calls it, a bit of a soup sandwich of ways that we can bring back. What we found out at the beginning, because I was being stingy, I was just sending back 1 through 30, the number of results, 1 through 30 for counties that exist. But in our testing and talking to some of the users, we came back that, you know, there are some states in the United States that have 254 counties, okay? And if there's data that exists in any of those counties, we want to make sure that we provide those, that information to the people that need them. We found out that this data set is not sorting by a number or a value that we can sort on top 10 or if it exists or not. We just know if the numbers don't exist, we won't bring it back. So what we're doing is we're creating these flows. Now, that is why we have so many. We have one, this one is going to create 1 through 30, 31 through 60, all the way down to 280. And these all have checks in here to see if something doesn't exist at this level, it won't keep finishing. So that'll be it. It'll stop. It won't give you any error. It just won't complete. But the important thing to show you right here is that the process generates multiple results per state. We need to take those results, grab those results, aggregate them, in essence, stack them up so they look presentable to a user, and then send them out as a message. The reason that we're doing only 30 per shot is because we've calculated that when we send more than 30 or 31 or 32, depending on the type of data that is provided back to us, from this Integromat bot about COVID-19, we could exceed 2,000 characters, and Facebook Messenger does not allow us to send over 2,000 characters in a message. Therefore, we are just capping it at 30 results per flow, so we can send you a flow that includes all the information, and there's no errors and there's no extra support anyone would have to do were you to implement this anywhere in your community or share it with somebody else. So in essence, we first want to stack the results. And to stack the results, we're going to go to something called a text aggregator. We're going to take all this information that we saw in the previous step, but it's important, we're going to make it a new row each time. And what we're going to do, we're going to send it as a message, but that's going to create 30 new rows stacked one on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other. And that's just going to be sent as this sort of placeholder for that. See, as I mouse over it and that pulsates over there on the top, that means that's where it's coming from. What that means is I'm going to have 30 results that are going to appear where this does, top to bottom, right? And that's how we do it, and then we send it out, and they can also do a quick reply to search again, and we'll see how that works when we're done with this. In the second one, where it's 31 through 60, because there was a lot going on, I actually put a 5-second delay so it wouldn't overwhelm the users. And thank you to Philip for giving me this tip in terms of usability. So we added a quick 5-second delay, a sleep function here, and then we sent the next group that was 31 through 60. And we do the same thing all the way down to 280. And I've tested it, and we are getting a whole lot of things in Texas. And we tested it, and it worked all the way down to the 254 counties in Texas. So that is how this particular function works. So the next bet is for us to walk through how this would work live.